Hold on. We are live.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Texas Prison Transparency Project. This is episode number 8. And tonight we have a very special guest for y'all. We have Rueben and his mother. Many of y'all will remember him. About 6 months ago, he came on the show.
She did.
Oh, she came on the show, excuse me. And she spoke on his behalf about the things that were going on in his life. And coincidentally enough, the young man was on the Beto unit, which we just spoke about last week. We had issues there, which Ashlyn's fixing to bring y'all up to date on. And then we're going to get into the meat of the program. So I'm glad all of y'all are with us tonight. Please get comfortable because we're in for a ride tonight. All right. Mm-hmm. So Ashlyn, you want to bring them up on Beto?
Okay. The Beto unit, we know, went through a storm about a little over a week ago now, and they lost water pressure at the city, which caused the unit to lose water. Sewage backed up. Nobody had showers. It was just a complete mess.
Yes.
Thank you to all the families that reached out to the media and to TDCJ. Thanks to all of the followers that helped me reach out to the Department of Justice and the media. We worked really hard for about 24 hours. I actually got a phone call from the Inn building on, I believe it was Monday, where they were threatening to riot.
Yes.
Immediately if things weren't going to get fixed. So I pleaded with them for about an hour on the phone to give me 24 hours. They agreed to give me 24 hours, put in grievances, and just sit tight, which is why Shannon made his live video asking everybody just to stay calm. So thank you for everybody for cooperating. Thank you for caring, and it is fixed. Robertson and Middleton also had some water issues today, but it's to my knowledge that those have already been fixed as well. So with that, that's about all the news we had. That was the big deal of the week.
I would like to point out that a little self-discipline can go a long ways. Like we said last week, I understand the mentality in there. Oftentimes it's like we cannot get any attention brought to a problem unless we act out. It's kind of like a catch-22. You don't want us to act out. We're supposed to be rehabilitating and mending our ways and trying to live a better life. But when you're put in a desperate situation, I can't get nothing done unless I act like a fool in order to get y'all's attention, because that's the only thing that y'all will pay attention to. You know, and it's just a really messed up scenario and a situation. But sometimes if you just reach out to the right people, there are people that will help. There are people that will, take care of business and get other people involved and bring other people to the table. And sometimes you just have to give other people the opportunity to work, have a little self-discipline for just a little while, and it'll pay off, and then you avoid all the other negative consequences and backlash, that, we can better live without.
Okay. When you guys are ready, unmute yourselves and I'll introduce you. All right. Everybody meet Rueben. He's here to tell his story. I'm going to give you the floor. I'm glad you're here. It's
Thank you.
I'm glad you're here too, bro.
Thank you, brother. So I'll start at the very beginning.
Yes.
I go to court in Comal County for to see if I'm going to be granted probation or not. And before I start get into it, I just want to say I'm going to go into what I can talk about. I can't get too deep into everything, but I will give what I can.
Absolutely.
Okay, for sure. With that being said, so I start in Comal County going to see if I'll be granted probation or not. I get there, they give me probation. Then I'm talking to my attorney, and he's showing me this ISF form. And mind you, the county has had my medical records. They've been told everything, and they know about my history from 2014. So we go back in there, and they want me to do an inpatient. So my attorney goes and fights for outpatient, explains to them why, and even with all that, they ignored it, and they still sent me to Comal County Jail until a bed in the ISF was ready. So I get to the county jail, I go into the pod. and it's my first time. I got to see what's going on. I finally find a place where I'm at. Then my next concern was my medication. I got to get in contact with my family and do all that. Um, so the medicine comes at nighttime, and they only had one of my medication. I take three different ones for epilepsy or seizures, and they give me one. So that was going okay for a while. Nothing was going on, but after a while, after my body um, started detoxing itself off of the medications that I needed, then I finally I had a seizure. I had three total in there. With the first one, I was on the phone and I knew it was about to come, so I tried to go into my cell so no one see it. I want no one to see I have an issue, you know. So I tried to kind of fight it off, but my cellie came in, he saw it, and he asked me what's going on. I was trying to fight it off. I didn't want no one to really know what's going on, but I told him what happened. He picked me up. He took me to the door, started banging on the door to make the staff come. It took him about, he said it was over 5 minutes for them to come. The whole pod got into an altercation with the staff because they took a while and then they didn't do anything. It's happened two more times. The third time it happened, I was all the way in the bathroom. So same my cellmate, he went to the bathroom, picked me up again, took me all the way to the door, pressing the button for the guards to come. Um, Finally, they come in there, um, the full staff, everyone, and I'm upset because my family on the outside, they were fighting for me to get my full medication so this wouldn't happen. And finally had it. I was able to tell them like, why aren't y'all helping? Tell the staff what's going on, and they didn't answer me, give me no answer. Instead, they looked at me and they said, "Are you okay now?" I said no, and then they said, "Okay," and they left me in there. Laying, I was still laying on the floor, shaking, and yeah, so that happened, and
This is
everyone
in Com-
in the this in Comal County, this is Comal County. This is just getting in there. Everyone, the inmates, they were. I never had no trouble with the inmates. No one. The only trouble I really had was with the COs and the other staff. That's really it. But that's how it was with that in county.
So you began your journey even in the
That's what
county
I
Yeah,
was.
system.
Yeah, I
yeah,
just want to add a little bit. That's kind of like the first issues we started having with the medication part. And it was kind of what, it's the same thing between Ruben's girlfriend, Heidi, and myself. We would both call, we were both sending emails. In Comal County, we were going over heads. We had to get a representative involved. And even though we were told multiple times, it doesn't matter what you do, it's not going to make a difference, it made a difference. We were able to get
Absolutely.
Ruben 2 out of the 3 medications he needed. At that point, we thought, okay, now when he transfers to ISF, surely they're going to see what he's on and they're going to keep him on that. But that was not the case. So when he got transferred to ISF, I'll let Ruben start here how
um,
that
One
went.
thing, how old were you at this time, bro?
I'm 24.
24.
At that time,
Yeah, at that time I'm 24.
24 years old, first time being locked up like that.
With a 90-day sentence, y'all. 90-day
Yeah.
sentence. That's it.
Okay.
The one thing I would like to add before I move into the ISF is that when I had that last seizure, I want to ask them, what are y'all doing? I asked them what I had need an attorney, my doctor. I was trying to ask the person, and they told me, no one has any authority in here. You're in jail. And they're like, and that's that. I was like, so she was like, yeah, it's basically saying they decided whatever's gonna happen.
Wow.
But yeah,
We got
I'll
his
go.
first neurologist letter on file at that time too. That's the
Yeah.
first one we got on file in Comal County.
And let me remind everybody that when Ruben was 14 or 15, you had a
14.
documentary made on you that actually shows your neurologist in here speaking about your disorder. So it's no secret that you've had these medical issues for a very long time prior to this.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm. Go ahead.
So finally, I get transferred from Comal County to ISF. And when that happened, so I get transferred there, And like I said, it's my first time. I'm nervous. At first, I'm just going through the motions, and then you get what you need, you go in there. Like I said, the inmates are never the issue. I walk in, I was given commissary, extra pair of socks. They showed me what bed I was going to, everything like, and no one wanted anything in return. That's always how I saw that everyone told me in return, got watch out this and that. No one ever did that to me my whole time, inmate wise. And so that happened. I don't know how many days exactly I was there. My first time going um to the ISF, but I went a
And
few
that was
days.
East Texas treatment facility?
East Texas, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So as the first day I'm there, I started having seizures, and I was having them at nighttime. So I started kind of asking questions like, what's up with my medicine, this and that. Just always getting the running around about everything. So the second day, I'm waiting, hoping my medicine will come. My my head's on fire. Like it hurts. At one point, it hurt so bad I wanted to cry. Like I was having multiple seizures a day, and this went on for a few days. And finally, when I got the attention, it was, I think, the second time I had a seizure in Chow. So I'm in Chow. I have a seizure, and they dragged me to the infirmary, and then now that I have a little bit more attention now. So for the rest of the day went on. It wasn't until the next day that they tell me to get everything and go to the infirmary. And I asked the CEO, I'm like, what's going on? He said, I'm not sure. I had never seen this. So I go into there, and they start kind of looking into everything, asking me questions about what's going on. Tell them I'm having seizures, and then I guess their doctor, or he was looking into my medication, tell me why I'm not getting my medications. Then they switched my medication to Keppra, and then I started asking questions to a staff member, and I said, what's gonna happen now? Where am I going? They told me I'm either going home or to a medical facility. So I'm just, I'm waiting. And then she puts me into a room. I was put into a room, and
Real quick, Ruben, just make sure, like, it's noted that they had completely taken him off
oh, cold
all his
turkey on my medication,
medications.
all my medications, all my
So
medications.
he
Yeah,
was there for days without
nothing. I
anything,
wasn't taking anything. Yeah,
and then
Nothing.
they decided they were going to put him on something he shouldn't have even been on.
yeah. I
Something
would go.
different. Yes.
Yeah, I would go to the pill window. They wouldn't have no information about me, anything, nothing for me. Then I would go to the infirmary, same thing, nothing, run around about everything. So then I get they come to transfer me. And so before that, the staff member would come and check on me, and I was still having seizures while they're waiting for me to get transferred. And
Mm.
the person would walk in, they would look at me, and I'll tell them I had a seizure. They'd be like, "Wow, I didn't hear nothing," and they just walk away. Then they would come back, "Do you have another seizure?" Like it was no big deal. And I'm just, yeah, my head's hurting. I lost count after, I think, 12 or 13. When I lost count, I
Mm.
just, yeah.
My
Then
God.
finally, yeah, finally they come and get me, and they put me in the shackles you got, like the football shackles, and then they transfer me to Beto, and I have no idea where I'm going. I'm trying to ask questions, no one's telling me nothing. I'm asking them, "Will you tell my family?" And at ISF, they promised me that whenever you get transferred, your family will be let known that on that day. They told me that, and I'm like, okay, well, I'll be all right. So yeah, I get there, get to Beto, I walk in, they do what they do all the basic searching and everything, and I'm trying to ask questions if I could make a phone call, what's going on. Did I need my phone call, of course, not telling me much about anything. Then finally, they put me into detox in there, and I'm in there, and I know something's not right, something's wrong. I feel it. So during that time, I was in there for a few days. They would bring trays, everyone would get a tray, and I wouldn't get my tray. They're trying to give me the medicine. They're trying to give me my medicine, the Keppra, and I would refuse it because I was literally scared that they're trying to drug me or kill me. Like,
Because
you know,
that's not what you're used to
it's
taking
not what
or
I
what you're
take.
supposed to be taking.
Exactly.
Right.
I'm like, yeah, you know, I'm just confused. I'm not gonna take something I don't know. But then so I'm there for a little bit, and then after a while, I guess they thought I was better for them to send me to I guess population, not really population though. It looked like, honestly, it looked like a refugee camp, like with like in the basketball court kind of thing, you know, with the cots and
Yes.
everything. So they took me there. I was there for 4 or 5 hours. So I go there and I really have like I don't know what sparked my mind, but I wanted to make a phone call. I've been begging for a phone call. So um I get a phone call. I call my girlfriend. I let her know where I'm at. When she answered the phone, she was like, "Ruben," she couldn't believe it was me. She started crying. She didn't think she was gonna hear from me again. So that happens. I tell her where I'm at. One of the dudes in there asked me for the address, gave her the address, and she drove from San Antonio all the way out to Beto. I'm not sure how far of a drive it is. I know it's a far drive.
A
You know,
long ways.
yeah, and she drove all the way over there to get there. And mind you, while I'm in there, like I said, it's my first time. I'm looking around, kind of examining everything. Um, it's sad, man. There's CK2 everywhere. Everyone's getting hired. It's sad. And what I realized in there was everyone does that because they're trying to escape the reality that they're in there. You know, for that short period of time, you know, you're high. You're like, you know what? It's cool right now. You know, yeah. I saw that. That was kind of eye opening. But so finally she gets there. I'm laying in my cot. They come with the flashlight, get me up. They grab me. They take me to go search me. They threw me. They had me as one person here and one person here. They take me to the cell. They throw me in the cell, and I fall. Then they go in. They start like strip searching me. I was naked. They did this in front of my girlfriend. My girlfriend could see all this, and I
Oh,
know
wow.
they're yeah in
That's
front of
out
her.
of
They're
line.
trying. Yeah, exactly. I know that they're
Intimidation tactics.
intimidation. They're intimidating my girlfriend. They're trying to show her like this is what's gonna happen and what you can do about it. That's how I took it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and that happened. So that happens. Then they sent me. So they also told her that they were gonna give me an attempt to escape charge too. They try to scare her with that. Then they were telling me that, yeah. So then from there they sent me to CDO. And yeah, then every day they have people kind of walk by your cell, like not so they have 24/7 where they're monitoring you, but then they got the people that kind of walk by to talk to you. They're inmates. They just walk by, kind of talk to you, see how you're doing. Yeah. So yeah. So the next day one person he told me they're like, we heard what happened yesterday. He kind of shook his head and walked off. And then someone else came. They're like, yeah, you know, you're gonna get an extra X amount of time for that charge you got. And I'm confused because I was not trying to escape. You know, I'm not trying to go
Right.
anywhere. I'm trying to get my people to figure out what's going on. So yeah, that's
You don't
there.
have
And
no
then
idea why they had such a
yeah,
bad attitude towards you or anything, right?
yeah, for no reason, yeah.
Like,
And
why are y'all hating me? You know, what have I done to deserve this? You know, they didn't even
literally
give you a reason for putting you in CDO, which for anybody who
no
doesn't
reason.
know,
Yeah.
CDO stands for constant direct observation. No
Yeah, so
reason given.
I'm no nothing. I didn't want to kill myself, wasn't trying to fight no one, wasn't I was trying to hurt myself or others, nothing like that, nothing violent, nothing that would give you a reason to. So they
Yes,
got
sir.
me in there. You know how it is, you know, you're butt naked, cold with the jacket on, no mattress, laying on a metal platform. And
Yes.
I'm there because I'm supposed to be there for my medical stuff, for my medications and everything to get back on track. But they had me laying on a metal platform. I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
It's cold and it's miserable.
yeah, I
And
can't sleep. You
yes.
know, I'm up for days, up for days. Yeah, I was literally up for days because I couldn't sleep. Um, So when one of the days I was there, they said I was trying to fake a seizure, which I know I wasn't. They
Right.
shot me in my left eye with a, I don't know, the gas gun. I just remember they had their mask on. They turned the water off, and they shoot me in my cell. And I remember this because in school they teach you when gas go whenever the fire or something go down, all the air goes in the ground. So I'm on the ground trying to like breathe, and
Breathe.
I'm just burning. Yeah, I'm burning. My eyes hurt. The water's off, so I just used the bathroom. I had to flush the toilet. I try to go and flush the toilet because I'm burning. My eyes are burning. I put my head into my own piss, and just trying to cool down. Then I come back out, and then that's when everything kind of started to set in. I'm like, I'm probably gonna die in here. Like, I haven't heard from my family. I haven't heard from no one. I'm being tortured. I'm literally being tortured. Like, they're not giving me what I need. And I've never been in a situation like this ever where it's so bad. So I'm just um trying to
So let me
figure
get
that
this
out.
right. They say that they thought you were faking a seizure. A
Yeah,
man who
yeah,
is documented as having chronic seizures, and they
yeah,
they get the bright idea to shoot you in your face with a
yeah,
gas gun because they think you're faking a seizure. I
yeah,
This
I
was
don't know
during a
how under the
seizure.
sun that will ever make any sense to anybody.
yeah. That
That is
really blew my
incredible.
mind.
I mean, you
Um,
and to put you in that situation to begin with in CDO and to strip you naked and not give you any property, sheets, blankets,
yeah,
mattress, nothing, in
nothing.
a cold cell that is made completely of concrete and metal for a man
Yeah,
that has
exactly.
chronic seizures, a man that falls out in a
It's
concrete
not.
and metal cell. Okay, this is what they're doing. And they're punishing you because you have a medical condition that you have no control over. Wow.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, that happened. And I remember days. So a few more days went by. Uh, I woke up the next day. I remember my eyelashes were so crusty, and I touched my skin and it just burned so bad. And I couldn't like it didn't set in that this really happened, but it happened. Then I remember asking the cell next to me, like, "Hey, did this happen?" Everyone's, yeah, man. Everyone else in the block, they got to everyone. So yeah, it got to everyone. Meaning got me. Then no shower. I'm still asking for a shower too. So just so I get off me and my eyelash, nothing. Um, then I'm not sure exactly when later on they see my eyes messed up. It's all messed up, swollen and everything, and they try to say it's pink eye, and it's not obviously not pink eye, but they send me,
You
yeah,
shot me in my eyeball, bro.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah. They send me to some hospital to treat my pink eye. They didn't do much. They gave me eye drops probably, and then I get sent back,
They
and
didn't send
that's
you for the pink eye. They
who sent me
actually
for.
sent him because he had a seizure. So
Mm.
he
That's
had a
fucked up.
seizure. And I did get a phone call that he had a seizure and he was on his way to the outside hospital. I was freaking out, begging for information because at this point I thought he's having more seizures, he's going to die. His neurologist was on call. If did he need to go down there, make a decision? Did I need to make a decision? And then they said one seizure. What I found out later in a call about an hour later, because they only saw him for 1 hour at this outside hospital. Okay. Then they try to say that he had pink eye. They didn't examine him. They didn't say, oh my gosh, you're having seizures. You have epilepsy. Let me get a neurologist. Nothing. Later, though, I found out it wasn't just one seizure. It was 2 seizures he had back to back. And that's why he went. So they lied. And then they put him right back.
And
Yeah.
at this point in time, were you getting your proper medication yet? Still not?
No, still not.
Even
What did
after
it?
going to the outside so-called free world hospital, they still didn't start giving you your correct medication.
No.
Wow.
When they So I got back from the hospital, and I had had a phone call with my mom. She could fill you more in about that. But
You want
what
me
exactly
to?
happened with all that? Yeah, jump in with that.
Yeah. So I had a beg. I had a beg. And when I say beg, I mean while I was on the phone with this CO, um, begging on my knees, crying to please let me talk to my son. I need to help save his life. I need to talk to him. I need to hear proof of life. I got a call on a Saturday morning. They told me finally, okay, we're going to let you talk to him. The warden, I had to beg the warden, okay, beg, multiple emails back and forth. When I finally got this phone call, I wasn't sure what to expect. Honestly, I was scared. My son didn't even know who I was. The phone call went something like, Mom, how did you find me? At this point, I knew because of his history and seeing what happens with his seizures, his brain was on fire. His brain was inflamed. It was on fire. I knew I was on a time scale, a very short time limit to save his life. It was either save his life, he's going to come out in a wheelchair, it's going to be bad. I try to carry on the conversation by bringing things up that he knew, like literally talking to a 3-year-old. My son, his brain was on fire. He doesn't remember this conversation. And I would say things like, your girlfriend, do you remember your girlfriend? And it would take him a while. Yes. Do you remember your dog? Yes. At one point, it paused for so long. There was a CO and someone on the medical staff in the background that were like yelling, "Are you okay? Are you okay? Are you okay?" He was out of it. And then finally he said, I'm done. I'm done. Like I couldn't even have this conversation. And that's where, like I said, it became a critical situation. I didn't know how bad it was going to get, but I honestly,
As a
my
mom,
son,
we know our children better than anybody, so I get it.
in my eyes, and knowing, like I said, his history with the seizures, I said, my son's going to die, and they're just letting him die. At that point, I knew I got a second letter from his neurologist right away. I had to get more support to help step in, but it was hell.
Yes. I can't even imagine. Man,
And
so they kept you in direct constant observation
yeah,
for how long?
about 2 weeks.
So wow, that is a long time.
Yeah.
In my own personal experience, most people are anywhere from 24 hours to maybe 3 days, but 2 weeks to
I
be
wish it was
butt
that
naked
short.
and cold in a
Cold,
cell,
yeah.
covered in gas. Did they ever give you any shower?
So yeah, so what ended up happening with that is, I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember getting the shower, but they finally took me to the hospital and prison hospital in Galveston, and I just,
John
like I
C.
said, my eyelashes were crusty, and I remember feeling them, and they're back to normal, like, and my skin felt better, and I was confused, and then I talked to one of the COs that was there in the ambulance with me going, and they told me that they had help giving me a shower, and they helped me with everything, with that. So then,
Yeah,
that's how I got a shower.
the
Then,
hospital did that, not
yeah,
TDC.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So then I get, so I'm there at I'm at the hospital. I get there. I'm supposed to go for brain scans to get whatever scans I needed. So I get there. Um, they asked me 6 questions. After those 6 questions, they throw me in a cell, and yeah, then whoever brought me, they went on lunch. They got lunch, and I'm in the cell waiting for someone to come and get me to do the scans. And no, the whole time I just asked me those questions. They threw me into the cell, and honestly, that was the best time I had because I was finally able to sleep. I had a mattress. They turned the light off for me. I went to sleep. Finally had to sleep. I was up before that. I was up for probably 3 days. I don't know. I was just up. I
Yeah.
couldn't sleep. You sleep on the meadow. It's cold. You can't sleep. Finally, I'll get like these hour or two of sleep, the little time I had, and then finally they get back from lunch, they get me, and before they take me off and everything, I'm shackled up. They have me in the bed, and one of the CO that was there, they told me, man, your family is really causing a lot of things on the outside. And I was confused. And they told me because they saw what's going on in Facebook, things are being said. I didn't like I have nothing, I don't know nothing about this. Then I hear this, I'm like, oh, I'm like, damn, things are happening. And then I remember because honestly, at this point, I accepted I'm probably gonna die in Vito. I'm not leaving this place. So when I hear that, I'm like, wow, there's still a chance. My people are fighting for me. And that person, they told me, just be still. You'll be good. You'll be out of here. So I took that person's advice. They take me back to Vito. I get back. I'm walking up. And right before they sent me into the CDO cell, the guard handed me a JPay letter from my mom. I look at it. She basically just telling me like, we're out here. I know everything that's going on. I'm doing everything to protect you, to get you. And then she even put the lyrics to the song called "Sailing" by Christopher Cross. Really good. So that song is I've been in dark places, so after reading it kind of got my mind back right. And after getting the letter, after the whole day, just really all day, I'm just like, you know what? There's still a light, there's still a chance. I'll be out of here. And
so that right there is the power that correspondence with our loved ones and family on the outside has.
Exactly.
The man has resigned himself to the fact, the belief that, man, I'm probably about to die in here. But man, one letter can give us the strength we need to get through, to carry on. Okay. All right, I can fight a little longer.
Yeah, exactly.
I know how that made you feel, man.
I already given up, and then you see that, it's just like, wow, things, it's not done yet. Just calm down. Yeah.
I do just want to add to, like, in the experience with UTMB on the outside, what I was working is to get him there to see a neurologist, because that's who he needed to see, so they could do an MRI and, a full blood up work and things like that. At this point, I'm afraid, like I said, Ruben's brain is on fire. It's inflamed. I was thinking he was going to be staying there. When Ruben said they asked him some questions, that's literally all they did. They asked him the questions and sent him back. There were no scans. There was no up work. Nothing. A doctor looked at him and said, hey, okay. And Ruben, provided his background. And then they sent him right back. And so he was going per UTMB to get the help he needed to live. And he did not get that. They just sent him right back, basically, to die.
And this was John Seeley in Galveston, correct?
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
See, we said earlier that this is an outside hospital, a so-called free world hospital, and it is that. They do have a public branch, but at the same time, UTMB Galveston, also called John Seeley, that's also a TDCJ hospital. Where the inmates from TDCJ go to John Seeley that is strictly for TDCJ. It's not like we're not out there in a comfortable bed and getting room service and all that. We're still in concrete holding cells. It's still prison. Don't get it. Don't get the wrong idea in your mind.
Let me ask this: what is the difference in the quality of care between being a normal patient in the free world, like now, going to a doctor or a hospital, compared to being a prisoner and the doctor's cares? Like, do they treat you differently? Do they? I mean, obviously it's not thorough.
It's like being in a third world country that they don't know. It's terrible. You really, number one, the biggest thing, freedom. You have no freedom. That's the biggest thing. You have no freedom. No one really cares how you feel or anything like that. If you feel sick, hopefully someone cares enough to come and help you. In the real or free world hospital, they're catered to your needs, and over there, not. That's not gonna happen.
Especially like with Ruben and his medical history, where at where he's at, they fully are aware. All they have to do is look up his name and pull up his stuff. It's an immediate action, right? They're like, oh my gosh, brain seizures, we have to act quick. So it's immediate scans, MRIs, CTs, blood work. medication,
Obviously serious.
hydration.
Yeah.
Yes, very serious. And like Shannon, when you mentioned earlier where Rueben was in that metal cell, no clothes, concrete, in a hospital because of his seizure disorder, not only is he in a safe place, a hospital bed, but there's also padding around it because of his seizure
Yes,
disorder.
as there
So
should be.
yes,
It only
whereas
makes sense.
there,
Yes.
yeah, it was just added. So yeah, big differences.
Yeah.
Well, two questions for you. How old were you when you were diagnosed with these disorders?
14 years old.
14. Okay. And we have somebody asking Roxeanne, how did you know who to call and where to even start?
That is a great question. Honestly, I wasn't sure where to start. And so I did a Google search for an attorney that could assist me. I can't recall the first name of the attorney I found, but I saw he was successful with something with TDC. He did respond pretty quick and said he no longer does anything with TDC, but he referred me to a group on, I think it's a TDCJ, like a family group that's on Facebook. I immediately went there, made myself known, posted my son's story. And one of the first people that reached out to me is Hillary. And that's kind of where it started. So I went, I needed help right away. And then a lot of people in the background will send you messages and say, hey, try this, do this. Here's an advocate. Ashleen was the next person that I got connected with that really helped me figure out what my next steps needed to be. Because honestly, I was like a deer in headlights, stuck. But I knew I had to fight for my son's life. So those Facebook groups are crucial.
Yes.
They are. They really are.
Yes.
All right, Rueben, keep going.
Okay.
So you get back from John Steely, they send you back to Beto unit?
Yeah, I get back to Beto, and I guess all that noise my family's making on the outside did something. I'm not sure how many days after that I was transferred back to ISF, and I was there for about a week. And at that week, during that week, it's funny because when I first was in ISF, I had the butterflies and kind of worried about everything. The second time going in, after everything I went through in Beto, even with everyone trying to intimidate you, there's everything. I mean, didn't care really. I was in a different place in mind, and I walk in
dealing with
like
worse
I said,
things.
yeah, I'm like, y'all not gonna do nothing. Y'all, what's gonna happen? The thing is, no one ever tried nothing. Like they were fine. I go in there, they let me in, and these people are helping me. They get my mattress, they tied up the sheet for me and everything. They show me where I'm going. Yeah, the inmates, yeah, show me where I'm going. Trying to put me on games of this and that, who does what, I'm just like, wow. And then again, I was there for only a few days. And then just everything, like going, remember was one time for specifically, I'm going to Chow. And this one CO was just every single person trying to get them to fight him and talking about he does. You don't want to talk to him. You don't know how to fight, and trying to antagonize everyone. And like, no one said it. They're trying to ignore him, but then he gets to me, and I just stay quiet because I'm not trying to get into all that, but still, even me, and I stay quiet, and then you try to get me saying, yeah, that's right. You know to stay quiet. You want none of this. And in my head, I'm like, what's the point? Like, why you trying to do this?
Doing this?
The CEO, yes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a worker at ISF. Yeah, trying to instigate everyone. This happens every single day. And of course there's decent ones, there's bad ones, but it's more the ones that like that instigate them. That's the main thing that I noticed in there is that the CEO is always trying to instigate things, trying to start stuff. One time something happened and they like singled out one of the inmates in there, and everyone got searched except one person. And I was kind of obvious what they're trying to do,
Yes.
But yes, like I saw a lot of things like that in ISF, and I was on like I said, the second time I went there, I was there for about a week, and yeah, I saw that. I'm happy I was always with a group of people, because a lot of the COs there, they knew my name. By that point, they knew my name, they knew who I was, and I did get kind of nervous at one point, because I would hear stories about, kind of what COs do to the inmates, like when the camera's not there. So I was nervous for a while. But finally, it came to the point where I was almost time for me to leave, and I'm talking to who I was talking to get out of there, get transferred, and I have the conversation, and everything's done, and I asked the staff member there, like, so am I getting transferred? Am I going home? What's going on? They kind of laughed at me, and they were like, you're not going anywhere. That the paperwork hasn't been sent. Like, you'll be here. You'll be here no matter what condition you're in. They told me straight up, you're in jail. You're here. You're not. You don't have no rights here. That's what is always the same story I'll get.
That's just
Yeah.
like sadistic right there, man. You're not
Yeah.
just playing with somebody's emotions. You're literally playing with their life, just to get some kind of little kicks or jollies out of it.
Exactly.
There's some real evil people in there, man. And it's not. It's really bad when you don't just have to fear inmates and inmate violence, but you got to fear the rotten COs also. And as you said yourself, they're not all bad. There's some good ones along the way that want to help you and want to encourage you to do good. But,
of course.
But man, there's just too many bad ones at the same time.
Too many of those, yeah.
And it kind of goes, what do they say about bad apples and all that?
Mm-hmm.
Man, it just makes a bad place even worse.
Well, and I promise you, by this point, they all knew who you were and what was going on with you medically.
They did, for sure.
I'm sure they did. I mean,
They for sure, 100%.
It also
I stirred up a lot of noise.
Go ahead. Oh yeah, that's one of the only things that helps us when we have somebody that actually cares about us or loves us enough to be that voice that we don't have. Yeah, that makes all the difference in the world, because they can ignore us. They can just lock us in the cell and ignore us. It's harder for them to ignore y'all, especially when y'all start reaching out to other people and getting other people with more influence involved also. They don't like that type of attention.
They don't like that. But, one thing I will say that I've learned too in this experience with Rueben, and it's something that needs to change, especially from the medical aspect, you reach out to these people that you're told to reach out to, and it becomes a circle. You find yourself reaching out to this is the point of contact. This is who you talk to. This is the person that's going to help you. And then what happens is that person says, I don't know why they told you to reach out to me, because I can't do anything. So go to this person. So it was a full-time job of 7 a.m. to 11:59 p.m. of phone calls and emails. And, the thing was, like, with Ruben's situation, it was so urgent. I'm attaching a letter from a neurologist. I'm attaching my medical power of attorney. I was ready to attach his entire medical file at this point. Mm-hmm. And I am begging and pleading and explaining. I add the link to Ruben's documentary. Like, I am showing proof that my son is going to die on your watch. I'm not just saying, can you please check on my son? Like, I need you to save my son's life. And it was very frustrating for a while, because, no one was listening. And that's where I say, like, you get on these Facebook groups and you need to meet the right advocates. Ashleen, like I said, you and Hillary have been huge. Shannon, I'm grateful for you now too. And, you meet these people and they come in and they're in your corner and they will do what they can to help you. If I didn't get that support, my son would be dead. He wouldn't have gotten out.
So what was the total number of days that you did inside the system? Do you know?
Total, I think I'm not sure total number of days. I know for sure it was 3 months at the least. So
so you did your entire 90-day sentence.
Yeah, but I did my 90 total, including everything. One thing I would want to say is I'm blessed enough to have people on the outside that were able to do everything they did for me, because not everyone is blessed to have that. Because you see it, Shannon, you how it is. You see it all the time. People have no one on the outside. That's why small things like this, like the medication, If they would just have gave me my medication, I could have done my time and been fine. Wouldn't have been that big of a deal. But they wouldn't give me my medication that I needed, you know. And
Right.
this could help so many different people, because if all you do is give them their basic rights, you know, and it would just be different. I wouldn't have had to have my family fighting so hard on the outside and all this stuff going on. Just give me my basic human rights, you know.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's what that's all that many of us want. You know, we just want to be able to feel human in there, man, to be treated like a human and not like a dog or an animal or a piece of trash, man. You know, and that's why anger is such a big problem in the prison system. Because I mean, how else are you supposed to feel, man? You know, you're just angry all the time because, man, I messed up, man. I did something wrong and I'm here to pay the price for it, to fade the consequences. But at the same time, man, all this extra stuff, you know, is totally unnecessary, man. And it's just cruel and inhumane, like literally in the sense of the word, inhumane.
Literally,
you know? And like, there's so many times I've mentioned on here before, you know, I've come back from like a rare visit. If I got a rare visit every now and then, I'd come back and I'd look around the cell block, you know, coming in the door, and I'd look at it all. And man, in my mind, I'm thinking like, man, this is a human kennel. It's exactly what it is. They got all these cages and a central day room, and it ain't nothing but a kennel, bro. Man, how dehumanizing is that? You know, and people feel angry and they give into their anger because anger is easy. You know, I think of it as anger is usually it's like our first defensive mechanism. We don't want to cry about it. We don't want to feel sad, depressed, weak, vulnerable. We don't want to feel those things.
Got to put the
we're taught to guard against those things and to never show that. So what do we got left? We got anger. Anger makes us feel strong. It makes us feel powerful. You know, and man, it's a messed up system, bro. There's got to be a better way.
So Roxeanne, tell us how you ultimately got him out of there.
I have to give credit to an organization in Texas called the Texas Cure. If folks in Texas do not know about this organization, you need to go to this website and look at it, because they offer support in so many different ways for family members, formerly incarcerated, all kinds of things. And the people there that are part of this organization are truly exceptional. They understand. When I tell you they understand, they understand. I, got connected with this organization who helped me figure out the best thing to do. I did, I'm sure you guys know, I had to take it back to where it all started in the beginning, which was Comal County, represent the situation. And at that point in time, it was decided by the judge that Rueben needed to be released immediately, and he needed to be seen by a medical expert, preferably his neurologist, immediately. So shortly after that, I want to say it was the next day or the day after that, I was on my way to pick up my son from that East Texas facility. And as soon as we brought him back, we went straight to get him the treatment he needed, straight to the ER for all that. But it took work.
I have the text message still saved that you sent me, and you said, I had just walked out the door with my son and I just cried. I cried and cried and cried. I have it saved. It's pinned. I'll never delete it.
It's with Rueben. I wish this could be the story for so many people, because my son is not the only one with a medical condition that has struggled or is struggling in there. There's so many other inmates that are not receiving the medical attention they so desperately need. When that judge said what he said, it took me a second to register. I'm there with my son's girlfriend, with our support and with my father. And it was like we couldn't get in the car fast enough to grab him. And then when he came out of the facility,
they changed their mind.
Yes. And so when he came out of the facility, it was like, get in the car and
this is real. This is really happening. Yeah.
But it didn't, I didn't have the ability to touch him and look at him and say, like, you're, you know, you're alive, you're here. It
Right.
took days, you know, it took days for me to like grasp everything that happened and that he was home. And yeah, then you have to deal, you know, with the aftershock, because he, you know, that he's traumatized by what he went through, you know.
Absolutely.
But
wouldn't
yes,
be.
I would recommend to any family that is looking for that kind of support. Yes, Texas Cure. That's going to be a huge. I mean, that's your start. Charlie runs it, or he's part of it, and he's also an amazing advocate. I call Charlie my friend. Also, we joke
Absolutely.
all the time. So, yeah.
Good friend to have. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie is, yeah.
Yeah, we love Charlie. He's great.
Yes.
He's great. He's great. So, how long did it take you to recuperate from this, as far like physically?
Physically,
I think he's still recuperating.
yeah, I would say more so
Me too.
mentally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's, yeah. You know, again, now I'm not gonna lie, it was different. Because the trauma really came from how I was treated by the COs. There a lot of them are Nigerian, so being around them, I get kind of like flashbacks here and there, you know. So it gets better, but you know, it's not like I'm fully back. It takes a lot. Yeah, every now and then I'll be alone thinking, and then something will trigger something in my mind. I just have a think back. I'm like, damn, I was really there. Like, I'm not sure it really has registered to myself yet that I really went through all that. You know, I'm just happy I'm free right now. But
How
yeah,
long have you been out, bro?
it's about 6 months, right? 6.5 months. I got out September. Yeah, September.
Close to it.
Awesome.
Yeah, but almost about 6 months. Yeah, 6 months.
Are you
Awesome.
having to go into like any kind of counseling or anything to deal with PTSD?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Absolutely.
I'm going to counseling. I go twice a month for right now. Yeah, but I'm doing that.
He has to see a doctor for
My
his
eye
eye
now.
as well. He's got some pretty bad nerve damage on his left eye from
Yeah,
what
when they
happened
shot
to
me
him.
right there. Yeah.
When they shot you with the gas?
Yeah, like
Oh.
yeah. It would twitch every now and then, and like I know my eyes, you know, so I could
Right.
just feel the difference when I wake up in the morning. Like my right eye opens up way faster than my left eye. My left eye's kind of lagged with it. So yeah, that's something I'm gonna probably have to live with the rest of my life. Which, you know, it sucks. I'm gonna have like a souvenir from there, but
Yeah.
you know, it's you
But
gotta
you're
keep
free,
going.
brother.
Yeah,
You're
that's the thing.
free.
I'm free. I'm free.
You're
Yeah.
free, man.
Yeah.
And you're alive.
And you're
Yeah.
alive.
I'm alive. Yep.
Yes.
That's it. It's the best.
So
The
did
biggest
that
thing.
let me ask you this, man, from going from the hell in that cell and believing that you were in all likelihood, you know, about to probably die, you know, at any time within the next few days, maybe a week, who knows how long it'll be, but that's what's probably going to happen. I'm probably going to die in here, you know, to coming out the other end, walking out that door, to 6 months later sitting in this chair talking to us right now. Did that experience change your perspective on life?
1,000,000%. I got a lot of lessons from it. Patience, patience. I learned patience so good in
The hard
there.
way.
Yeah. You know, that learning how to just honestly, it really does give you a bunch of little. You if you go in there with you have the right mindset, you can leave better mentally. You can. It's possible. You just have to kind of, you know. But the main thing, I just freedom. You know, the being free is like you can't put a price on that. You know.
Yeah,
That's one of
I learned like my personal philosophy. You know, I like to say, and I say it quite often, to love life. You know, and
yeah.
there's a quote that goes along with it that says, man, the more you love life, you know, the more life will love you back.
And that's
And, you know,
very true.
because
That's yeah.
I spent a lot of dark years where I was just depressed. I thought I had wasted and ruined my entire life. I didn't know what
Have
was
those
the
days.
point of going on. You know, what can I do now? I've already wasted my life. I've already ruined any chance that I ever had or was going to have, you know, and it was just a dark, ugly road. And I walked that road for probably over a decade, you know. Many people already know my story, but I did 25 years, bro, straight. And, you know, yeah. And you've been out longer than me.
Are you serious?
Yes, sir.
Wow.
I'm 3 days away from 90 days, bro. 90 days.
God bless you. Thank God you're back, man. You're free.
Yeah, we're here,
God
brother.
bless, huh?
Now out here, man,
here.
we've learned that we do still have opportunities and chances. We still got a whole world and a whole life ahead of us, and we can use it however we choose, man. We can strive to make a difference and strive to help others, you know, and especially help others to not do the things we did, to go through the things we did, which is a question I'd like to ask you. Like all of these young men out here in the world that are living their life in ways that is, in all likelihood, sooner or later, probably sooner, going to send them to prison, to these same places that we've been and that we're talking about here tonight. Man, what would you say to these cats that are living that life and what they got to expect ahead of them? And, you know, what would you say to them type of people, man?
If I'm being honest, what I would tell them is your freedom, is your life worth it? Because at the end of the day, when you go in there, you lose everything. What's sad is nowadays, jail and prison is glorified. It's in music, it's in this, all doing bad things is glorified, you know. So it's a lot of these people's mindsets. They think they go there, it's cool, everything's be fine. It's not like that when you get in there. Like everything changes. You, like I said, your freedom is gone. I don't think no one really realizes how precious your freedom is. No one realizes that until it gets taken away. But your freedom is like gold, you know. Like once it's taken away, you have nothing. You have nothing no more. Because in the streets, you have guns, you have this, you have that. Once you go in there, it's a whole different world. Especially you never been in there, your first time going to peace. A lot of people these days, they do it for the look because of what's being glorified. I would just honestly, I would tell them, is your life worth it? Is losing everything worth it? That's really what I would say.
And then what they're expecting by listening to this music and these TV shows and such, that's an illusion. That's not the reality. When you get there, it's a rude awakening, ain't it?
Yeah, it's a rude awakening. It's like, because what's sad is you see on Instagram, whatever you're on all the time, they're in prison, they have clothes on, they're doing what they do in there, eating whatever. But you don't think that those people in there, they're like, man, I wish I was with my girl doing this right now. I wish I had my kid right now. I wish I could go over here and do this. But no, I'm in here with a bunch of men I don't know, trying to live free when I'm not free. You're not in the free world, bro. You know, and it's sad because this is being posted, and I know people who they think me going into prison and stuff is cool. It's like, bro, that's not cool, man. Like, I'm not proud of, not something I'm happy to say, you know, like.
I tell you the truth, man. It embarrasses me.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm ashamed of the fact that I was in prison for so long.
I agree with that. Yeah,
I hate it.
Yeah. I would add, like, to anyone that looks like, oh, I'm going to go to jail, it's cool. Think of Rueben's story, because if an inmate with a severe medical condition is treated this way, they don't care if he lives or dies. Imagine what they're going to do to a normal person. You know, if they.
And I'll add to that, a normal person can develop or be injured to the point where they develop a severe medical condition.
Yes.
Very true.
And then it's even worse.
You don't want to be in that situation. And then Marsha, I saw her question real quick. I just want to add, the documentary is my son's medical journey in 2014. It's his name, Rueben Singleterry, Made of Steel. You can find it on Vimeo. So that's where it starts with his medical journey. And then it kind of goes into where, you know, what happened to now. So that's how long he's been dealing with seizures.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
Getting past this, getting probation done, becoming free, not on a leash no more.
Unleashed. Good
Yeah,
word.
being unleashed. Yeah. Then from there, honestly, I do wanna get more involved in this movement, trying to change things, because if my story can help someone else in any way, multiple, even just one person, I'm willing to put my story out there, put my name out there, because it was ugly and no one deserves to go through that. It was terrible.
Well, I'd like to personally invite you to come with us to the board meeting April 25th in Austin. I think that they need to hear your voice, and we can go to the Capitol, and I could take you to meet some legislators, and they can hear your story and see what we can do as far as getting them to maybe push for some changes in policies, maybe some laws with the medical stuff. Start exploring these options, because your story is extremely powerful, and I'm so blessed that I was able to play a part in you being here.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're very welcome, honey. You're the same age as my son, so I couldn't not do it. It was,
yes.
It broke my heart.
And this is how we make a difference, brother. This is how we put in the work, so that other people hopefully don't have to go through the things we've been through, man. Because like you said, nobody deserves that.
No one does.
No.
I don't.
Yeah. But I do got one.
Yes,
I do got one last question for you. I watched your documentary, right? Which I thought it was really cool. And watching your documentary, man, one of the things that stuck with me, man, is your love of basketball. So since you've been out, man, you got back on the court or what? You dribble that ball?
I actually have, yeah. I've been back out. I've been playing a little bit. That's one of the things I was doing at first to kind of keep my mind at ease, just bring back kind of like how it is, the mental. Yeah, I didn't even know I would do that. I just kind of like naturally gravitated towards that. I was playing with my friends, going in the court, playing the big up games. Yeah, I did get back to that. That's funny. You said bring that up. I did do that.
That's great.
Yeah,
man.
I'm still doing it.
Maybe I'll test you out on that court whenever we meet in person.
Let's see. Do a little 1-on-1.
Misty, you can find the documentary. I shared it on my Facebook page, as well as the troll shared it on his. It's under the post for the podcast. But Roxeanne said you just Google search Rueben Singleterry, Made of Steel, and it should pop up on Vimeo. It's a short little documentary, but it's so powerful.
It's great.
Yes.
Yeah. Good job.
Thank you.
And maybe we'll talk about some future documentary and stuff in the future. Your mama can fill you in on that one.
For sure. Yeah, I would love that. I love that.
Yep.
This is the work.
Yep.
And it can be sustaining. It can actually nourish you, man, and help us heal. It helps us heal by giving back and by trying to fix things. I'm experiencing and learning that myself.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I would love to do that.
Anything else you'd like to say before we go?
Just everyone just stay blessed, stay safe, stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble.
Sure. It's not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
What do they say? Moments of pleasure, years of pain.
Life. Yeah.
I almost got that tattooed on me. Moments of pleasure, years of pain.
Yeah, it's funny how you said you go through those dark times. Yeah, I every now and then I'll have those dark days where get in my head. I'm like, man, I ruined my life. It's kind of like everything affects you. I still have that. I'm trying to get past that, but time will overtime for sure.
You sure will. You're strong. Totally believe in you.
And thanking of everything.
Oh yeah, for sure. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here for tonight. Roxeanne, thank you. You hold a special place in my heart. Both of you do. So I will see y'all next month for sure.
For sure.
Absolutely.
Y'all be safe.
Yep.
For sure.
Bye,
brother.
guys.
Y'all be safe.
Bye, everyone.
Yeah. Bye. All right, let's see here. All right, we're done.